Running your first container. This is your first hands-on Docker lesson. Containers allow applications to run in isolated environments. Docker can create and start containers with a single command. Understanding container execution is a fundamental Docker skill. What is a container? A container is a lightweight isolated environment. It contains application code and required dependencies. Containers run consistently across different systems. Applications remain separated from the host environment. What is inside a container? Application code. Runtime environment. Libraries. Dependencies. Configuration settings. Introducing Docker Run. Docker Run is one of Docker's most important commands. It creates and starts a new container. Docker performs several actions automatically. Most Docker workflows begin with this command. Basic Docker Run syntax. General syntax. Docker Run image_name. Example. Docker Run Jinx. Docker uses the specified image to create a container. What happens behind the scenes? Docker checks whether the image exists locally. Missing images are downloaded automatically. A container is created from the image. Docker starts the application inside the container. Step 1. Check local images. Docker searches local image storage. Existing images are reused. This reduces download time. Reusing images improves performance. Step 2. Download the image. Docker downloads the image if it is missing. Images are retrieved from Docker Hub by default. Downloaded images are stored locally. Future executions can reuse the image. Step 3. Create a container. Docker creates a new container from the image. Required settings are initialized. Resources are allocated automatically. The container becomes ready to run. Step 4. Start the application. Docker launches the container process. The application begins executing. Services become available to users. Docker monitors the running process. Your first Docker command. Docker run hello world. The hello world image is designed for testing. It verifies Docker installation. It confirms Docker is working correctly. Why use hello world? Small and lightweight image. Downloads quickly. Demonstrates the complete Docker workflow. Ideal for beginners learning Docker. Understanding the output. Docker locates the image. Docker downloads the image if needed. Docker creates a container. Docker executes the application. A success message is displayed. Viewing running containers. Use. Docker PS. Displays active containers. Shows important container information. Information displayed by Docker PS. Container ID. Image name. Container status. Port mappings. Container name. Viewing all containers. Use. Docker PSA. Displays running and stopped containers. Useful for understanding container history. Container lifecycle overview. Create container. Start container. Run application. Stop container. Remove container. Understanding container names. Docker automatically assigns names. Names are easier to remember than IDs. Names can be used in Docker commands. Custom names can also be assigned. Examples of container names. Focused_Turing. Amazing_Einstein. Kind_Hopper. Generated automatically by Docker. Running containers in detached mode. Some applications must run continuously. Detached mode runs containers in the background. The terminal remains available. Common for servers and databases. Detached mode example. Docker run deen jinx. D means detached mode. Container runs in the background. Docker returns the container ID. Checking background containers. Use. Docker PS confirms the container is running. Displays runtime information. Understanding container IDs. Every container receives a unique identifier. Container IDs help Docker track containers. IDs can be used in management commands. Names may also be used instead of IDs. Stopping a container. Use Docker stop container _ID. Docker gracefully stops the container. The container remains stored locally. Starting a stopped container. Use Docker start container _ID. Restarts an existing container. No need to recreate the container. Removing a container. Use Docker rm container _ID. Removes unused containers. Keeps the Docker environment clean. Containers must be stopped before removal. Common beginner workflow. Run a container. View running containers. Stop the container. Restart the container. Remove the container. Real-world example. A developer needs a temporary web server. Docker can start Nginx in seconds. No manual installation is required. Cleanup is simple after testing. Why containers are useful. Fast deployment. Easy cleanup. Portability. Consistency. Resource efficiency. Common beginner mistakes. Confusing images and containers. Forgetting to stop unused containers. Removing the wrong container. Not checking container status. Image versus container. Image equals blueprint. Container equals running instance. One image can create many containers. Containers are created from images. Key takeaways and lesson summary. Docker Run creates and starts containers. Docker automatically downloads missing images. Docker PS displays running containers. Containers can be stopped, started, and removed. Container management is a core Docker skill.